Hi everybody, my name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food. How you doing today? I'm doing pretty good. Prepped my lunch, prepped the dinner, fed the cats. It's been a busy morning. It's now 3:20. I'm ready to talk to you guys. I'm so glad you're up waiting for my video. I have just needed to talk to you. Anyway, there will always be a struggle. Always. If you're not 100% on board. It was funny, somebody was asking me about smoking, and she's a mother of 6, and she smokes 2 packs a day, and she was adding that up, and she was horrified. And she has a great big old Explorer, old is really the main point, and it keeps needing very expensive repairs. And so I said to her, at the end of the year, that's an expensive car payment for a new car that turns with the key. You can put all those 6 kids in there and your pappy and go. And so she said, well, how did you do it? And I said, I just made up my mind to do it. No pills, no potions, no patches, things like that. And that's how I came on to Weight Watchers. I was sick and tired of it. It, meaning the gut, right? And I wanted relief from that feeling. And I knew that I had to do something. Weight Watchers was definitely a solution because I was eating things that, I thought I was maintaining my weight. I wasn't obese by anybody's standards, but I was self-loathing, felt disgusted, getting bigger, so I was on my way. That wasn't my highest in my life. This was just June 2014. And I'm one of those that likes to wear a belt. Like I'm khaki pants, starchy shirt, and a belt in the summer. And in the winter, I like to wear a belt with like a thin sweater, that kind of like snazzy look. And so suddenly you can't do that when you've got a midriff. The belt just doesn't work. It's funny how you don't you don't think about it when you leave the belt world. And suddenly what would be a snazzy belted starchy shirt suddenly becomes the overshirt that hides it all. And you all know what I'm talking about with that, right? And so I was on my way, and I just had it. And as my story goes, I had planned to go to my 12-step meeting, in fact, 2 of them, because it was a Saturday, so I could pile on, and then go to the 10 o'clock Weight Watchers meeting. And I'm sitting in the first meeting, and it's 7:30, and I am so fidgety, I just can't wait to dive into this. I just couldn't wait. And so I went to my one and only meeting, and I signed up for that, and I signed up for the online, and I got all the gear, and they did the weigh-in, and then I called Weight Watchers later on in the afternoon, and I said, I don't really want to go to the meetings, I just want the online. So, slice that thing in half. And I went to the grocery store, and I bought some of the things that the leader was talking about, and she had done a thing on a 4th of July, what are you going to eat at the cookout to kind of get people to process things. And, there was the tracker, of course. And so I listened to a few people talk about the tracker. And then I went rogue on my own and did the Weight Watchers online and joined a couple of the Facebook groups on Weight Watchers. And that lasted till the following August, so almost a year. And then I gave up wheat on my birthday, August 28th, and never looked back. And that was from reading Wheat Belly and just going, oh, I'm doing this every time I have it. Oh, first I gave up sugar, and it wasn't as bad as I thought, which was interesting because I listened to a podcast yesterday as I walked, and she was talking about it too, and it surprised her in that it didn't have all the effects that she was afraid of. And I think the wheat was definitely a bigger venture because I had my Zyla for my coffee. And this woman, like me, was addicted to her Coffee Mate. So I was weighing my 1 tablespoon of my Italian sweet cream. I tried the sugar-free, blah. I'm not an artificial sugar person, nor was this woman. And so she was bound and determined. And I think that's where I got the idea for this video. And so was I. Just like when the woman was asking me about my smoking. I just quit. And so I just didn't want to play anymore with my midriff getting bigger and bigger, my menopause, and knowing that aging is not gentle with us females. And so anyway, I did that. And so you will struggle if you're still on the fence about whether or not you want your food plan. So for me, first it was the sugar, then it was the grains, and then it was, the wheat. And then in September last year, so 2015, was all grains. So in September, it'll be 1 year all grains. And that came from reading Total Health, which is William Davis's follow-up to the Wheat Belly. And I was just as committed to no sugar, no grains as I am today. I never waver. Just like a diabetic doesn't go and have a Jim Dandy at Friendly's, an extra large sundae, a 3-scooper sundae at Dairy Queen with all the candied cherries and all the other things on it. A diabetic does not sway from their program. Why? They can't. I mean, they do, but they can't. A celiac can't go and have a cheeseburger on 2 pieces of bread. So what to do when your life is nothing but breakfast is a bowl and lunch is between 2 pieces of bread? What do? You have to learn a new WOE way of eating. So as you transfer out of SAD, standard American diet, to WOE way of eating, you need to find some replacements. And so I got my information the same way that a lot of you get your information. You go online and you tap in either keto or LCHF or HFLC, or some of these doctors that you hear me talk about, or other people that know low carb, high fat inside out, and you listen to their podcasts and you learn what works. That's why I love grocery hauls. I've done them many, many, many times in my 500 plus videos. Now I just do a product here and there. Why? Because it's a pretty standard way of eating. It's the healthy Kerrygold butter, but I've also now introduced the Amish rolled butter, which is also delicious. And it's avocado oil, it's extra virgin olive oil, and it's not so many nuts and seeds, but definitely avocado, and full-fat cheese and yogurt. And some people don't do full-fat, any dairy at all, and because they have allergens from it. I don't. I have it in moderation. And my beverage is a bulletproof latte in the morning with butter and brain octane, and about 2 cups worth of almond coconut milk plus the coffee. And so I sip on this through my morning of emails and then put a jar in the fridge, and I have that at work at like 8:30. And that is my morning sustenance. And then around 11, I will have my lunch. So what do you do if you're used to nothing but breakfast is a bowl and lunch is between bread? Well, eggs come into play. Those are always good. And as you transition out, maybe having deli meats, you need to be careful about how those are processed and treated. So those are kind of difficult to find. I know Whole Foods has, conscientious meats that you can get. Applegate, you can see those in the store. Those come in packaged ounces of. And you can begin to learn to like those rolled up, maybe with a slice of cheese, maybe on lettuce and then rolled up, or the lettuce becomes the bread holding it together. There's many things that you can do. The yogurt, if you can do that. The meat sticks that I do. A salad with things on it. Last night's dinner, if it's meat and some veggies, sure, with some butter or olive oil or coconut oil to make it nice and wet and have some high fat, good fat in it for you. Those are the things that you can do. I was always a breakfast eater. In fact, when I worked at a clinic, a methadone clinic, I would eat my breakfast at 4:30 in the morning, and it was a bowl. That's right, I was having the cereal. And I gave that up, and I always thought you were supposed to eat breakfast until I began to hear people say, not necessarily. Whoa, not so fast there. And I became very happy with my bulletproof coffee latte. And I found that very filling. And I walk my 4 miles after I have half of the container that I put in the NutriBullet, and come back, get ready for work, and have the other half. And I'm used to it, and this is my new way of handling it. Even if I was going off to, I go off Cape a lot for seminars for my CEUs for my license, and I will have my bulletproof latte, and then I will have my lunch. Maybe I'll eat an hour earlier because I've used up a lot of, energy getting there in traffic 100 miles and stuff like that. And that's, I'll start my first meal at like 10, and it's got enough fats to carry me because I go 5 hours in between my lunch and my dinner. And that's my hungry horror time. Other people might struggle at night, and I don't. But I did. I used to. And so, each... Your tracker and your knowledge is your weapon against these beasts that come in through your door and say, it's nighttime, you're used to eating, come on, go into the kitchen. I have watched podcasts where people have 3 different sessions of garbage. They save all their calories or their points or their whatevers till after dinner. And then they settle in for the real junk eating. And it's absolutely astounding to me. And I don't know how they lose weight. Well, one had a tummy tuck for like, 12 grand. And so, I don't know. She weighs herself. I don't know. I mean, I've seen what she eats. She doesn't eat vegetables. She'll have a 4-ounce portion of meat, a Diet Pepsi. That's her dinner. No, thank you. I'd be eating somebody else's arm off, right? So, I was committed and devoted out of the gate. I made up my mind, and it was done. That was it. Maybe I'm lucky that way, but I don't sway. Just like an alcoholic can't take a break and go have a couple of beers. I can't. I have a food allergy. I have a food addiction. I have a food disease of more. And so when I don't have wheat and I don't have sugar, I don't have wheat, I don't have grains, and I don't have sugar. Case closed. So I don't sit there and whine about it or give in to temptation, buy it, and think I could manage it. I can't manage it. Can an alcoholic manage a 30-pack in the fridge? Even if they were a bourbon drinker, that beer would start talking to them. Trust me, been there, done that. Got a Girl Scout badge on it. So there will be a struggle if you choose to struggle. If you choose not to say, I work with somebody, I adore her, and she goes, that's a wrap. And I love it. And when she says that's a wrap, that's a wrap. And I like that. I like that. And I look up to people that's a wrap. You know why? Because they show me how to do it. And that's the sort of tribe, tent I want to be under. I want to be with people, like-minded people that don't want to sit there and say, oh, I gave in again and I had it. No, I didn't. You know why? I bulletproofed my day. If I knew I was going to be someplace and there were going to be temptations, I would eat before I went, or I would bring my special foods, which aren't special. They're healthy. Hello. They're whoa, not sad. And what cookout isn't sad today? I mean, I'd love to go to a keto cookout. Are you kidding me? It would be a food fest of fatty meat. I'd love it. But alas, I keep my meat portions low because low carb, high fat does not mean tons and tons of animal protein. It means healthy oils to me. It means Kerrygold or Amish rolled butter. That's what the healthy fats means. It means extra virgin olive oil. It means avocado oil. That's what it means. It does not mean slab o' beef. Although some people do that, and it doesn't seem to bother them. More of the heavy weightlifting type of people. That's not my journey. They do it and they stay buff and taut, and they can do this thing, but that's not me or a lot of women. So the reason I don't struggle today with my food is my head is on board, and I think it's one of those necessary stops. I've always argued in 12-step programs that there are really 13 steps. I always feel there's a 0 step, which is stopping it. Because the first step is recognizing that your life is unmanageable, and that you are insane and your life is unmanageable, right? And so the 0 step is stopping. How can you clear up your food issues, problems, addiction, disease? How can you clear it up, clean it up, if you're still in it? If you're still in the sewer with all of it, you're not going to be able to come out clean unless you come out, clean yourself off, and say, that's it. That's why I like Dr. Berg, where he has you begin to eat healthy before he has you begin to lose weight. Because it is a new way of eating. You've got to understand, I don't mean gotta, you don't gotta, but it's important to understand that as long as you choose to have some sort of struggle or resistance or reservation about being all in, you're gonna struggle. You might even slip and fall. You might go away for weeks at a time. And we don't want that to happen here. We don't. We want you to be on board from the kickoff, which means a pantry clean out, which means a fridge clean out, along with the head clean out. It takes a while. Reading the book or listening to it when I walked, Always Hungry, and then looking at his alwayshungrybook.com free information, shopping list, what to eat, what to buy. It's fascinating, it's wonderful, it's free, and you know what? Gosh golly, it works. It's not loaded with grains. It's not loaded with sugar. It's how to eat when you give up those toys in that playground, because those toys don't exist in your life anymore. Your breakfast is not a bowl, and your lunch is not between 2 pieces of bread. Ironically, my dinner of many, many, many nights is a bowl. It's a bowl with veggies on the bottom, and on top is my 3 or 4 ounces of protein, animal protein. And that's my dinner. So I've switched my bowl in the morning with grains to a bowl at dinner at night with veggies and my 3 to 4 ounces of protein. And I'm not turning back. And that's why I'm here. Not to encourage you to eat the way that I eat, but that to be as committed to your food plan as you hear me as committed as I am to mine. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food. See you next time.